Hey, everybody, we are Geeking Out Ninjas, and we are here to geek out.
We are here to geek out, Jeremiah. And you know what we're going to geek out about today?
What are we geeking out about today, Craig?
I'm going to call this the pre-cap instead of the recap. We are going to talk about fish,
I like that.
folding phone,
Okay.
electric delivery vans,
Ooh.
and if you only had 3 apps that you could use, what would those 3 apps be?
Oh, and that's tough.
That's
I
really
had to
tough.
I had to think about that one. That was all day.
I actually didn't have to think about it that long. I was surprised. I was like, what would I use? And I was like, should I also include the camera app? No, I can't do that.
Awesome. Well, this sounds like an exciting show, and I'm ready to get started. How you been?
Okay.
Just okay?
Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
What's going on? What's going on? Anything new?
What's going on with me?
Yeah. Why is it just kind of
I don't know. Life, man. Life got you down. It seems like you have a visitor, Jeremiah.
I do have a visitor. And
if they're in the room, they have to be on camera.
No, she already walked out.
Oh.
And I've got my headphones on, so she has no idea we were talking about her.
Perfect.
She did bring me my beverage for the evening.
Oh, nice. Kool-Aid?
Wild Red. HEB.
Nice.
Yes, it's a great drink. It's bubblegum flavored, I guess. It's like Big Red.
It's not like Big Red.
Well,
don't try. Don't try.
Exactly. I love some Big Red. It's a great second choice when they're sold out of Big Red, which the last year it's been tough. It's been tough, I'll tell you, getting my Big Red.
Really?
But I didn't mean to interrupt you or my guest that came in to interrupt. What? So what's going on?
Just life stuff. We'll keep it on the DL.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I did get some new fish though.
So tell me about this. Did you have old fish?
So we had some fish. The fish saga is kind of a story, really.
Okay.
So like 2 years ago, I got my wife a fish tank. It was like a 5-gallon, like cylindrical fish tank.
Okay.
And we got some fish shortly after Christmas. It was a Christmas present. She loves fish. She loves fish tanks. So it's a deal. It's okay. A deal. And got some fish after. Got some instruction from the people at Petco. Also, don't go to Petco or any of these other places to buy fish. It's not a great experience. Got some instruction on what to do to get the water just right.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it didn't get it just right.
Ooh.
All 3 fish died.
Oh.
Had to take them back. They actually gave us our money back. We bought 3 more fish.
Uh-huh.
I think we asked them, like, what else should we do? I think I can't remember if those 3 fish died or if we only lost one of those fish. I don't know how many sets of fish we went through. We'll just say only one of those fish died, and we still have 2 of them left.
Okay.
They're still alive 2 years later.
Wow, that's a pretty good record there.
It's not bad. Not bad. And so we decided, my wife and I, that we were going to buy my oldest daughter a fish tank for her birthday. Because all my daughters are like, well, I guess mainly the 2 oldest ones. The little one's just like, she doesn't really know what's going on half the time.
Right.
Macaroni all over her face for dinner tonight. It's fine, whatever. And so we got her a 30-gallon. So it's a pretty big, it's a wider fish tank. And so we were like, we need to get a lot more fish. Obviously 2 fish, not going to be enough. We also got like a Harry Potter looking castle to put in the fish tank.
Yeah.
So that was super cool.
Yeah.
And so today we went to this place off of Nakoma. I forgot.
A real place.
A real place.
Fish. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's like their business is just fish.
Right.
Freshwater and saltwater fish. So they have like, it's almost like going to an aquarium. It's kind of cool. So they've got like starfish. If your kids love Finding Nemo, they also have Dory and Nemo, or clownfish.
Nice.
I don't know Dory's.
A blue fish.
Yes, it is a blue fish. I
With
don't
a
think
little bit of yellow.
Yes.
Okay.
But they do have some of those. They have some. They have actually some that are pretty big. So this could be a place you'd go for like huge tanks if you wanted to.
Sure.
It's pretty cool. They recommended, the fish that we should get based on the size of our tank, as well as the two other fish that we have. I think we have glowfish right now.
Do they glow?
They kind of shimmer, but they're really colorful.
Okay.
So they kind of look like they're glowing. So they're school fish. So they like to be in a bigger school.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3 more of those. And we got 3 black and white or black and gray fish, and then 1 really big fish that my wife really wanted. It's like it was a $9 fish.
Okay. Is that expensive?
To me, it is for fish.
Okay. All right. Well,
so
hey, look at that.
Yeah. So this is what our tank looks like now.
Nice.
So this is the black and white, or the black and gray fish, or black and silver. So these are the glow fish. We've got a pink, a purple, a blue, an orange, a green, and maybe one other color.
Very nice. And for our podcast listeners, I'm so sorry. You should go to our YouTube channel and check this out. At least just, skip ahead a few minutes and take a look. It's a pretty nice looking tank.
Yeah. So we just
colorful.
added this. We added this tall plant in the middle today. I didn't realize this is one that you can put like a tube in, and it'll actually aerate the tank a little bit.
Sure.
But so this is the big one that my wife really wanted.
That's the $9 one.
That's the $9 fish.
Okay. It's bigger than the others.
It's like the size. It's like the size of my thumb.
Yeah. It's
pretty
like
decent
twice
size.
twice as big, at least, of the other ones, if not a little bit more.
So so fish. Who'd have thought? And if these live, because there's always a chance something could happen. Sure. Our tank has been stable for a while. The other fish have been in there for like a week, so we think everything's gonna be fine. But if they all live, we'll probably get some more. Probably 1 or 2 more of the big ones, and then we'll figure out what else to get. But yeah,
very nice.
It's a growing ecosystem. This fish tank is. Well,
I'm going to share a sad story.
Perfect.
To go along with the fish tank. So in high school, we had a biology teacher that was not quite there, and he had a fish tank in the classroom, which, whatever. We were 10th grade, I think is what year this was. So, whatever. It's a fish tank. And I believe it was a fresh, like 10 saltwater starfish.
What?
Because he said, oh, well, they'll switch. It's no problem. They can go from salt to fresh, like no problem. Yeah, it seemed kind of weird to us.
That's not how that works. I'm
you
shaking my head, by the way.
Yeah, and so it's very sad because they died. They
probably died like pretty fast.
They did, and they almost like disintegrated. It was weird.
Interesting.
Very sad, and he
torture
didn't. Yeah. Yes. Needless to say, he didn't make it through the whole year. He almost made it as a teacher.
Like those fish.
Just like those fish. He didn't. After the first week, we kind of knew he was. We had it made, and so that was an interesting year, I should say, in science class. But yeah, it was very sad.
I love how the science teacher didn't know that there was a difference between salt water and freshwater fish.
Yeah, there was a lot of things he didn't know about. So. And those are stories for other times, let me tell you.
Yeah, I feel like that could be the story of the school that we went to.
Yes, yeah. There's lots of stories we have to share.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
speaking of sharing,
So what I got this week. So what's new with me? Maybe I'll preface it like that.
What is new with you, Jeremiah?
I am really excited about this device that I got. It's called Blue Social. Have you heard
so
of
you
it?
actually have one?
I have one.
Oh.
And so it's this little black dot right here.
So NFC tag.
Basically, yes. And so what I can do with this is like almost like a digital business card.
Yeah.
And I've been playing with this all week, and I love it. So I can go up to another phone and basically almost touch it, and they get a notification at the top of their phone. Doesn't matter if it's Android or iPhone, and it basically sends them to a website of all my contact data. So I have my phone number, my email, my YouTube. I even have Venmo, PayPal. I can list it all. It's pretty amazing what you can list. And then they can choose to add that information into as a contact. And dude, it's sweet. Because I've always had a problem with carrying business cards, right? That's just me. Like I always forget them there in the car or whatever. Yeah. Or if I leave them in my pocket, they get washed. It's terrible. And I totally love this thing. And so it was $16. That is it.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Now you can get like they have like a plastic card.
Yeah, looks kind of like a Amex card almost.
Exactly, it's kind of clear, and it says "Hello, I'm Blue" or "I'm with Blue" or like a name.
Hello, my name is Blue.
And you can use that to tap the phones, and that's like $30, $35.
Yeah.
But you can get different colors of the dot, and you can actually get your own design on a card. But that's like $180.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like it's probably more expensive.
It's a little bit more expensive, but just the dot itself, though, for $16 to be able to tap people's phones and say, here's my info. They don't have to. They get my name spelled right. They get my email spelled right because it's, a lot of times we have email addresses that aren't necessarily easy to spell, and websites on there. Our podcast is on there.
I'll have to tell my wife about this so she can use this at her wedding events whenever she goes and
yes,
sells her wares.
Yes, it's totally awesome because you're in their phone then. That's right.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's a new way to kind of do an old idea. So NFC tags have been around for a long time. I actually have some in my office somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here you go. So like all the way from like a Sony Xperia like NFC tag. So you could program these to do anything, whether it was go to a website or add Wi-Fi networks or this or that. So it's kind of like a new take on that, but it comes pre-programmed with all this information. Does it send you? So you said it sends you to a website, right?
Yeah, basically it's a website and it lists everything that you want to list on it.
Yeah.
The different social medias and what have you.
And then it says you can like maybe download it as like a contact or a VCF or something.
Right. So there's a link that says add as a contact. And when you click on that, it's a VCF basically file. It downloads it straight to your contacts. Cool. And just puts all your info in there. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So I think it's a good way to get your information out there, make it as easy as possible to
100%
to share stuff. I mean, forget typing your name and your email and your phone number or go to my website or here's my this and that. This is just like saves so much time, really. It's like
it's crazy.
It takes like maybe 10 seconds to get all that stuff downloaded to your phone and all that versus, you're sitting there for like several minutes like I gotta go, but I also need to like share all my info with you. Now it's like it's only gonna take 10 seconds, I promise. And
exactly,
you don't even have to do it all right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's super super cool.
Very.
So
cool.
How did you find out about it?
So I think I did a Google search of it a few weeks ago,
and so for something in particular.
I think someone had brought the idea about having a smart business card.
Yeah,
at work. So of course at work, and so I Google it, and so where does it appear? On everywhere, right? It's the ads start popping up, yeah. And so I was just feeling lucky one day, and it was on I think it was Facebook is where I saw it. So they're the lucky ones that I clicked on because there's several companies that do it, and
Sure.
I'm sure they're all the same. And it's you download an app or what have you, but this is the one that I happen to choose because, like I said, it's a sticker basically. You stick anywhere, and it was $15. So I thought, no, this is a great way to try it out and see if it really works. And man, I'm just totally impressed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even do a custom order for like a whole company
Yeah.
with like to customize it for your business. So
exactly.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very neat, and they have different colors for the dots, or you can go with the card. It's a lot of options. Love it.
Pretty cool.
So if they're interested in sponsoring this podcast, we
Blue
would be
Social is who they're called.
We'll be willing to take them on.
Blue Social for your networking needs. I've already got it down. I've already got the promo.
Oh, look, you can record that one then. You got that ad. All right. Well, what's going on in the news?
Folding phones apparently are becoming bigger and bigger.
You've got
the Samsung. Samsung's got like 2 or 3 now.
Right.
So they've got like the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Could they make these names any longer? Like Samsung needs to get with the program on these freaking names. Like iPhone's actually getting pretty bad too. It's the iPhone 12 Ultra Max or whatever. I don't know what it's called anymore. But it's like, Pro Max. Yeah, it's like, why are these like 12 names now? Come on now.
Exactly.
Like, stop with the multiple names for the phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Samsung's got the one that opens like a book.
Right.
They've also got the one that folds down like the Motorola Razr.
Yeah.
Motorola has one that is the Razr,
mm-hmm.
the new Razr. And now Huawei is actually coming out with, I think, their second gen. This is their second gen version of the Mate 12. It's the X2. I don't know if it's X2 or 12.
I think it's X2.
It's always very confusing if you're supposed to use the Roman numeral or the actual letter.
Yeah. I wanted to look at this because I'm not really a fan of the folding phone. Like, I have a plus size phone, right, which is big enough, and holding it in one hand is already tough enough. I can't imagine really folding something out. Like, I don't need that. So I don't get the rage on this.
I think it's the very thing you actually just said. So you've got the fat phone where it's too wide in your hand to hold. So you have a phone like the Galaxy, the Z Fold 2. I'm like, what's the name again? The Galaxy Z Fold 2 is thinner when it's closed, so it's easier to do certain things like that. But then if you want the extra screen real estate for, I don't know, maybe you want to watch a video or read a news article or read a book or something, you got the bigger screen when you fold it open. Because on the outside, at least the Galaxy Z Fold 2, it's got its like a separate screen on the outside that is actually pretty decent.
Right.
So we don't have a whole lot of info on this Mate 10-2 or X2 or 12 or.
I think it's coming out the 22nd. That's what the article's February.
Yeah, more news and details on the 22nd. So I'll be interested to see what kind of design they go with, because I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done for a folding phone to work correctly. And I don't think even Samsung has necessarily got it 100% correct. I think the screen still leaves a lot to be desired on the inside. You still end up with like a crease. And then they're still not super hard. I think until they can make bendable glass, folding phones are kind of going to be a real big niche.
Yeah.
Or niche, as some people say. Or niche, as some other people say.
Niche. I like niche.
So, I mean, I think it's going to maybe be less than 1% of the market for a long time. And all those people are going to be beta testers for the rest of us until they become better phones. I think they have a lot of potential. I like the idea of a folding phone. Just don't think they're quite ready yet. But I'll be curious to see what Huawei does, because, the Chinese always have interesting concepts they're willing to throw at the wall and see if they stick. Yeah,
they do try things, which is kind of cool. What else we got going on?
To be determined. You talk about this one. This one's all you, man.
This is all me. Yeah. So I put this one out there. The latest the 12 VR games launching on the Oculus Quest. It's actually launching on what they call their app lab. So these are games that are ready to start trying, but they're still going to make improvements on it.
Yeah.
And
Some of them are free.
Yeah, and which is cool. So you get to try it out, and I think they're just trying to see what's going to stick. There's some pretty cool things here. So just a couple of them, like so. There's one called an ancient dungeon. I think that's really they're trying to play off on Minecraft.
Yeah,
which is a huge thing right now.
It definitely looks like a Minecraft
esque
graphic wise game.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one that really catches my eye.
Yeah.
Gym class.
I feel like most people are going to avoid this one.
I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of cheesy. I get it. But so I'm a basketball nerd, right? I play basketball. I like to watch basketball. And the demo is all about basketball.
Yeah, which is interesting. They call it gym class, but it's all about VR basketball.
Which, yeah, I mean, they're in a gym.
That is true. It's not false marketing.
No, it's not. And I'm going to go ahead and download this one because this one really just was like, oh, I don't think they really executed, and I don't think this will be a great game, but there's still it's free. There's lacking in the whole sports VR. I think they're still trying to kind of communicate how to do that in the VR world, and anything that has to do with, I love basketball, so I'm really excited to try that one out.
So I'm curious if you're going to have to jump to dunk or shoot.
I would think so. I mean,
I definitely want video of you playing this game.
Okay, we can make that happen. We can definitely make that happen. I'm gonna get this downloaded this week, and
it actually just came out on the 25th. So
yeah, so I'll get it downloaded, and then my wife will love to record this. So we'll get the camera out, and that way, because she just dies laughing at us. But what's just cool is that they're really trying to push the limits with this VR, and
yeah.
It's a cool article because this is a cool place to get the newest apps that are going to be hitting the market on the VR on the Quest, and I'm gonna try out all the free ones for sure.
Yeah, I think the big thing about something like this is there's just so many things you can try in VR to get right. And I think it's going to take some iteration and some players being able to play things and kind of give feedback to the developers. So I think it's big in that regard, to where if the developers are taking the feedback and they're trying to improve things here and there, then I think these could end up being really cool games. I think the hardest thing about sports VR games is the motion sickness. I think it's hard to get past that. There's just something about playing sports games that make you a little motion sick.
Well, it's a lot of moving.
It is a lot of moving,
and you gotta have space, and the head is bobbing back and forth.
Don't hit your TV, please. Maybe do this in a room without the TV.
Well, so we have an extra room now, so I'm thinking that we're gonna I would like to pad the room. It's not a huge room, but that was my idea. I don't know that that's going to fly with the wife, but
you could also put a tether to the top of the ceiling in the middle, so you can never go far enough to where you hit the wall.
Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't think about that. I got to have a ceiling fan. It's Texas.
Yeah, that's true. You can get hot while you're playing VR.
Yeah,
moving a lot.
It's very easy to sweat. I will tell you right now, I'm playing a lot of VR poker.
Which is so funny to me because it doesn't seem like something that would be worth playing in VR.
It is, though. Anytime you play any kind of online poker, I don't like playing online poker. It's very social distancing, right? It's antisocial in the sense that because I think part of the take on poker, like you're playing with other people, you're reading them, you're conversating, you're trying to figure them out, and so the virtual poker, you can actually do that, which the social part of it, I think, is a huge piece of poker. So it's actually fascinating. I've got to play with people from Australia, England, and I think the most fun I've had is just we all have conversations about what's happening in the world and the different takes on it, and
Yeah.
it's very fascinating.
Do they all make fun of America?
No, I'll tell you this, and I find this very interesting. I played with this one guy probably for about an hour, and he was actually telling us that he was embarrassed to be British.
Oh, well, I mean, they've got some bad stuff going on too.
Well, and his take too was on it, like they've always had bad stuff going on, like they're always, imperialism, whatever. But it's just an interesting take because I'm sure there's people in America that feel the same way about America or what have you. So I love it, man. I love playing my poker. It just makes it.
You got to do what you like.
Entertaining, yeah, some good stuff.
Speaking of traveling,
you
didn't really say anything about traveling, but you went to different parts of the world. I took it and went with it as a segue. So Amazon is beginning to deliver packages with their new electric delivery vans, which I think is pretty huge. They're probably one of the biggest commuters on the, in neighborhoods at least, on a regular basis. So them being able to use electric vans versus using gasoline engines or diesel engines is going to be huge for the environment, as well as a lot quieter, I think, for all of us.
Right.
Which will be nice. So that's neighborhoods I feel like are not quiet enough sometimes. I live underneath the airplane flight path, so my house is like never quiet, which I'm kind of surprised they don't really ever fly over while we're doing this. I think we've had it like maybe once.
I think I remember once. Yeah.
I'm shocked about it. But Amazon paid a company called Rivian a bunch of money, like billions of dollars, to here's some money, go make us a delivery van. And I think it's pretty awesome that Rivian, who's they're a new company, they're able to do this, and hopefully that infusion of cash helped them deliver their new electric truck and electric SUV. I think their vehicles are supposed to start being delivered middle of this year. So I think it's just good to get more new car companies out there, more new electric car companies out there. More people on the road that are driving electric, the better, in my opinion.
Well, and they're starting this in Los Angeles, which I think is a big help. The smog and everything. It helps reduce that a little bit.
Well, California. So I actually heard this, I think today or yesterday. California now has 8% of their vehicles are all electric vehicles.
That's pretty big. Yeah. I didn't realize that.
I didn't either. So that's a pretty big number. I mean, obviously they have more strict regulations on gas
emissions
vehicles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're going to start seeing them tick up more and more probably over the next 10 years. I wouldn't doubt that by 2035 I think a good huge chunk of America is going to be driving electric vehicles. I know it's hard to think that you want to drive an electric vehicle. There's a lot of doubt because you're so used to this gas car, and you're like, this one kind of works fine. Like, why am I going to get rid of this? But once you drive an electric vehicle, it is hard to go back to anything else. Like, I mean, so I have a Model 3 if you haven't listened to any of the other episodes, and like, someone backed into me, and I'm going to have to like give my car over to a company to get it fixed. And I'm like terrified that I'm gonna have to drive an ICE vehicle or an internal combustion engine vehicle for like a week or something. I'm like, no, I don't want to. Like, even my wife's car, which is a hybrid, so it's it runs on electric for like 18 miles and then it's all gas after that. Even that is like not as smooth as my vehicle. It's just it's hard to explain the smoothness. And that's like always when I take people on rides in my car, they're always like, it's so smooth. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, it's not like the engine shifting or anything like that. It's just, there's just an overall smoothness to the ride of the car. It's crazy.
That's
hard to explain, but yeah. I'm excited about this Rivian news.
Oh yeah. Anytime you can get more companies into the mix, I think it's a good thing all around. All right. So that's the news for this week. A few articles that we liked.
That's
so
the news.
I'm kind of excited, like just talking about these cool things. So we're going to talk about if you only had 3 apps. And so I just love our conversations about these kind of things because, we kind of get insight to each other, and it's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you listening.
I'm definitely surprised at least one of the apps you chose.
I know you are. I know you are. I think we'll save that one for last because I think what it is.
Definitely.
So why don't you go first?
So I think one app that I don't think I could live without is probably Google Photos. So I've been using variations of Google Photos for as long as I can remember. So Google Photos used to be like Picasa,
right,
forever long ago, and so I used Picasa a long time ago. But when they switched it to Google Photos and it was online, and they started doing fun stuff with your photos, it's become like one of those things that I cherish a lot. So it's not just that, yay, my photos are stored in the cloud. It's the fact that, it's nice that all my photos are backed up and I don't have to worry about them. But it's nice that my Google Homes, the home hubs, the ones that have the screens on them, they actually will display the photos. So, as I'm taking photos of my kids, they just automatically start showing up on the Google Home Hub. And so you get to relive those memories. A lot of times it'll show you the photos you took like around the same period of time, like last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So, almost every day you're getting to relive your kids growing up. And it's like this, it's like just so phenomenal what they've been able to do with that kind of technology. My wife a month ago was like, she's just sitting there staring at the photos, and she's like, this is probably the best thing you've ever brought into this house. And it's true. Like just being able to sit there and look at those photos. How many people go and print out photos anymore? It's
right. Yeah.
And even if you do, it's like maybe 1-2 photos that you want to put up. This is like, you get to see all of your photos. That's hard to beat.
We have a lot of pictures of cats.
I have pictures of animals in mine too. And they pop up every once in a while.
And let me share something here because this is I find this hilarious. So part of my job is training and helping. Not yet. So I do things for people that are tech, and sometimes that involves taking pictures. So I had to take a picture of this young gentleman the other day, and I'll be honest, I forgot that I took the picture until I got home, and he was on my Google Hub. I was like, hey, that's a good-looking dude. Hey, wait a minute, I know him.
I know him.
So it's very nice that it does that. And sometimes some photos pop up of just random things that I take pictures to remember. So, but no, I agree. It's so cool that they pop up then in the kitchen where we have our hub, and
you can take it to like another level with the sharing of photos. So we have a photo album of like my 3 girls, and it's shared with everybody in my family, like my immediate family. So my parents and my wife's parents and my sisters. And so anytime they take photos of my kids, they automatically get uploaded to that album. And so now whenever they take those photos, I get to look at them. I get notified when they take photos, and I can look at the photos and videos and whatnot that they've taken. But also they can, your family members, if they've been invited to those albums, they can have it on their Google Home Hub. Mm-hmm. And so now you're sharing your photos with your parents or their grandparents, or, the amount of being able to see the photos, I think, is just awesome.
It is. That's a good app. All right.
What's yours, John?
My turn. So let's start with Spotify. Love this app.
Do you like music or podcasts?
I do like music. I like the fact that I can pick my music, create my own playlist.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I use it for podcast.
Really?
Yeah, like 90% of the time.
Interesting.
It's really easy. There's pretty much any podcasts that I want is searchable. Our podcast, which we post on Anchor, is actually owned by Spotify, so they're the same company,
really?
but they are. I was really resistant to Spotify for the longest time, but I'll be honest, the biggest draw on that for me is the podcast. It's any subject that I want. I've probably got like 10 podcasts that I follow religiously, and I don't get to listen to every episode of those podcasts, but those are the ones that I will choose on my drive. I have a little bit longer drive than a lot of people, so it's nice to be able to listen to something that I'm interested in on the ride, and it's just really easy. The radio has Google Play, Google Music, whatever it is, so it's easy to find Spotify and pick the podcast. It's very nice. It's
probably one of my. You have like Android Auto on your
Android Auto. That's what it's called. Yeah. Love it.
Cool.
Love it.
Cool. My next one is Feedly.
All right, so I don't know what Feedly is.
Yeah, so this is how I read news, is through Feedly. It is a website article aggregator. So most people probably don't know what RSS is anymore. That kind of all ran together, so I was like, I should probably say that a little bit slower. Really simple syndication. So it used to be a lot bigger a long time ago. But what's really cool about this is I can go to a website, almost any website. I think very few don't have it, but they will have a link on their website. It'll either say RSS feed or it'll be like a specific icon. And if you click on that, it'll give you a list of all of the articles that you could ever want to, read. And so you just put this link into Feedly, and it I have all mine categorized. I should probably like open this up so I can actually show what I'm talking about, because I feel like it'll make more sense.
It might.
Okay, so I have like different categories for mine. So I have like entertainment, which is like movies or TV shows or different websites that talk about these different things. And so the articles that they post get put into this feed, if you will, this entertainment feed. And so I come in here and it'll show, let me go to one that has like multiples. So like video games, for instance, it's got all these different articles from all these different websites in one place. It aggregates the articles, so I don't have to go to all these different websites. If I did that, I would never get through all the news that I consume in a day. Right. Like a lot of times, so I'm at 185 articles right now. Most of them are news, and I kind of skip through most of those. I'll look at a couple, but they can get up to, if I don't read it all day, it can get up to like 1,000. I don't read all these articles, but what makes it nice is that I can go through, I can kind of browse through this list all at the same time and be like, okay, this is the one I want to read. I can either open it right then and read it, or I can click this button right here and it'll save it later so I can read it later when I have more time to read an article. But it helps me weed through all the stuff I don't care about and only find stuff that, okay, this is interesting to me. Maybe I want to read about this. And so that's normally how I consume news. And then after I, go through a whole thing, I mark it as read, and then I keep going so I don't have to go through that each time. But to me, it's the simplest way to consume a bunch of different news, articles, websites, and it just makes my life so much easier. There are other ways you can use this besides just the way I'm doing it. You can even share these articles with other people that have Feedly. You can, create comments between multiple people, a discussion going on. There's a lot of different things you can do if you pay for it. I'm on the free version, but love this so much. Could not do the internet without it at this point in my life.
So I feel kind of bad now because like your apps like actually do something for your life, and mine are pretty much guilty pleasures, it seems like.
Well, I mean, if I didn't have a lot of these apps, then I feel like my life would. I mean, it wouldn't be like empty or anything, but it would just be more difficult, if you will.
Sure.
Like, I try and find apps and different things that make my life easier. As someone who works in technology and am always helping other people with their problems, I don't want to have to work on my own problems.
Right.
So
Right.
if I can find the thing that is the easiest way to do something, I'm totally going to do that.
Very nice. Yeah, it's I feel terrible about my last two. I feel terrible. So to set the stage a little bit, like we're not counting like the phone app or the message app, like I mean
the camera app,
the camera or the email app, like I mean these are kind of like just apps that
you wouldn't have probably on the phone all the time. These are ones you have to go out and find.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So my second one. These are terrible. So I do see my phone as a form of entertainment.
Well, of course. Okay. That's what everybody does. Yeah.
Right. So, so Cribbage.
Oh, you went with Cribbage second? I thought you were going to say that one for last.
No. I thought I was going to, yeah, I feel really bad about the last one. Not like it's terrible, but whatever. It's just a simple game. And it's so it's so funny. It's such a weird game, and it's a card game with like a board, and it's so simple, and it's kind of hard to understand the first time you play it. Once you get it, you kind of it's so stupid, but I play it all the time. It's a weird game where it's like this board of 121 spaces, and you're dealt 5 cards, no 4, or you're actually dealt 6, and then you put 2 kind of away, and you play the 4 that you have with a 5th card that's on the deck that's flipped up, and essentially you're just trying to gain points to move your little token through all 121 spaces, and then the first one to get to 121 went. I know. It's not that exciting, but it's like probably
let's just say app. The man who invented it is called Sir John Suckling.
It is my most used app. It's weird. Well, besides like text messages and email.
Yeah.
It really is. And so, yeah.
It also evolved from an earlier English game called Naughty.
So. Yeah. Cribbage sounds a lot better than playing Naughty on my phone.
What are you doing? Just getting naughty over here. Don't mind me.
There you go. All right.
I have honestly never played Cribbage. This seems complicated. There's pegs and a board and cards and.
Yeah, you got to like earn 15. Like the cards got to add up to 15 to get points. It's kind of weird.
It seems too involved for me. I think it's one of those things that's definitely, takes some time to learn. And then once you do, you're probably off in the races. But
yeah, I had one.
I think this is one of those, like, you show up at game night at somebody's house and they're like, what are we playing? They're like, Cribbage. And you're like, oh, great. I've never played this before. And then you have to be forced to play it. And you're like, okay, it's fine. I had a good time. But I don't know if I'll ever play this again.
Right. You never get invited back after you introduce this game. Yeah. So there you go. Cribbage. I don't know if I want to. I kind of want to go again because I don't want to save my last one for last. Like I want to end on a good note because again, like yours is useful. Mine.
Oh, you.
So my third app's terrible. It's TikTok.
Say it.
It's TikTok. It's terrible. I like TikTok.
A lot of people love TikTok.
I know, but I'm like a 40-year-old man. I love it. So it's not just a bunch of teenagers. There are teenagers on it. Right. But it's interesting because there's like any topic, it just brings those videos up. And I actually see a lot of cooking TikTok, finance TikTok, business TikTok. I mean, there's actually good, useful information on there.
Sure.
And there's also junk. You just got to weed through the junk, but it's so interesting too because it learns.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the algorithm is or how long it takes, but it learns what you watch.
It is. I've heard it's one of the best algorithms out there when it comes to curating videos for you that you actually like.
It's amazing. It is simply amazing. I'll tell you, one person I follow is Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's crazy stuff there, man. Oh, love me some Dr. Pimple Popper. And all kinds of pimple popping TikTok going on, brother. If you could only see Craig, you need to come to our YouTube because I'm sorry. It's a very, very guilty pleasure.
There are a lot of people who love TikTok. I haven't, I've enjoyed a couple TikTok videos here and there. Not on TikTok, but
sure.
On other
people
apps.
People like to share them, but TikTok, man, it's the way to go.
There is this woman who I work with, and she's obsessed with TikTok too. Mm-hmm. And she will play these videos for me. And it's very curated to your personality and your interests. And she plays these videos like they're the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like, ha, ha, ha,
right.
It's great.
Well, it's interesting that me and my 17-year-old do share some of the same tastes. So we do talk about some of our TikToks.
There are some I think that are universal, but some that are very geared to certain people.
Sure. Not as many cat TikToks as I would have thought would be on my feed. I don't have that many cat ones, so
there are a few on this woman's TikTok at work. So.
Yeah, I know my wife would be full of cat TikTok. It'd be terrible.
Is she not on TikTok?
No, we haven't got her there yet.
Oh.
She's still on Facebook video.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not on Facebook. You don't know. It's kind of like TikTok. I mean, it's not as good.
Not really.
No, because some of them are long. TikTok's, straight to the point.
It's all short. Like 15-second videos, right?
Exactly. No, I think
are there longer
30,
TikToks?
I think they can go up to 30 or 45. Yeah, because there's some of them, they get a lot of information in. Like they're telling you like a whole story. It's less than a minute, I believe. I don't know. I don't count. It's just I get lost sometimes. Not as often as other people, but I can get caught up in it.
You got TikTok mind?
Yeah.
You're just gone.
It's
gone,
terrible.
man.
It's horrible. All right. Let's get off TikTok. That's enough of me.
So my last one is the Tesla app for my car. So it's obviously not one you can just like go out and download and use, but once you have a Tesla, if you don't have it, you're like severely missing out. It makes your phone act like a key to your car. So I literally never have to like pull out a key or ever use a key. I don't have to have a key on me. Literally, when I leave my house, I have my wallet and my phone. Like, that's it. Don't have anything else in my pockets.
Do you have to turn the phone on, or like, do you have to turn the app on, or is it like always running in the background to where you just...
It's always running in the background, and Bluetooth does have to be on. If you turn Bluetooth off on your phone, it immediately, the app will be like, you can't use this as a key if you don't turn Bluetooth back on. I'm like, I know, but I had to switch headphones. Just calm down, Tesla. Calm down. You can crack the windows. You can set the air conditioner before you get in.
Can you turn on dog mode?
You can't turn on dog mode from the app. You have to do that before you leave the car because they don't want you to cook your dog in there.
I just learned about that this week, by the way.
Dog mode is pretty awesome. There's also camping mode. There's also an airplane. There's camping mode. It's not from the app, but just in all the Tesla cars where it will leave the HVAC system on. So it keeps you in a comfortable environment. And so you fold all the seats down. People use these things as like campers.
Really?
They'll throw mattresses in the back. It's insane what people do with their Tesla. I've seen so many videos where people are like, yeah, I camped out with this thing, and they've got like a tent like connected to the back of this thing with like camp mode turned on. I'm like, holy crap. Like if you got like if you went to an RV site and you did all this and you could stay plugged in all night, like you would be set.
That's crazy. I need to get on Tesla TikTok.
Yes, you need to get on Tesla TikTok. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things you can do through the app. There's summon. You can summon your car to you. I've had negative experiences with summon. I don't think I'd actually use it in real experiences. I
don't know if I want to summon anything.
No, you probably don't. Not unless it's a genie that can grant you 3 wishes. So I had my car like around the building, and I was in front of the building, and I hit summon, and it's supposed to, drive to me. I'm looking on the phone because it'll show you the GPS coordinates of your car, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I walk towards the car, and it's trying to back out of the parking spot, and it just keeps like going like all sorts of weird directions. I'm like, you are like stupid right now. Like, what are you doing? That's and then terrible. It tried to like cut the curb, and I'm like, there's a curb. What are you doing? Like, there's a lot of things that, and I mean, this was a while ago. This was over a year ago, and I don't have like the latest autopilot and all that stuff. So I don't know if it's better or not now, but it was garbage when I tried to use it.
Nice.
There are some really useful things.
Sure.
That you can do. You can preheat your car if you need to. Lock and unlock the doors from your phone. I'm like trying to remember all the different things it does. I'm like, I should probably just open the app. It would probably save me time. As the app won't open. This is failed. It'll show you your charging status. It shows the car's location.
That's handy.
You can summon roadside assistance from the app. You schedule your service appointments from the app. You can purchase upgrades for your car through the app. There are, you can honk the horn, you can flash your lights, you can start the car. You can open your garage door through this if you have HomeLink. So HomeLink is in a lot of garage doors.
Right.
You can set a speed limit, like how fast the car's allowed to go.
That's handy.
Yeah, so if you valet it, you can put it in valet mode through the app. You can turn Sentry mode on and off, which lets you record everything around the car. Yeah, it's like
that's a lot.
It's amazing. So the one thing I wish they would add, and I'm hoping they add it pretty soon, is so Sentry mode lets you record events that happen around your car while you're not there. Mm-hmm. The only time mine is turned off is when it's at home because I'm parked in the garage and it doesn't matter. Right. What I wish they would do is, so I have like Nest cameras. And so whenever there's like an alert or something, someone's at the porch and it shows you like a notification on your phone. And if you click on it, it takes you right to there. I wish the Tesla app would do that for Sentry mode. Like if someone sets off Sentry mode, it alerts you. You can watch the video real time if you want to, if you're like that paranoid about the whole thing. But I mean, every once in a while, there's, you go someplace and you're like, maybe this is not like the best place to be. So I might want to know a little bit more that's going on. I mean, it'll alert you if someone's, set the alarm off or something. But, yeah, but it would be awesome if they could.
Oh, I'm sure that's coming. I'm sure that's just a matter of time.
Fingers crossed. I hope that's coming this year sometime.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to have to rethink my 3 apps. I don't know.
You have a redo next week. Is that going to be your what's new?
That may be. Maybe I'll change my apps next week. That's a good idea. I like that. Awesome. Well, I think we had a good day. Good conversation. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube video and follow us on all podcasting platforms.
That's right. And we're on Facebook.
We're also on Facebook.
And we have a geekingoutninjas.com.
We have geekingoutninjas.com if you want to visit our website.
Please do. Beautiful picture of Craig and 2 of his girls. I don't know where the third one is.
She was little. The last picture, she's crying. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to put the crying baby in there?
No, not this time. There's also
I don't have any of
a
my
lovely
family.
photo of Jeremiah and his. He's very well dressed.
I don't have any family in mind.
So if you are listening to this podcast, feel free to check us out on YouTube. You can see what we look like, or go to geekingoutninjas.com, and you can also see better representations of what we look like when we care about our appearance.
I love it. I love it. And I think we should end with that. All right. We'll see you next week.